Never been the type to sit behind a desk all day. What? Welcome to the name-pending saloon, purveyor of spirits and stimuli. What'll it be, stranger? Why, sure. You'd be surprised how much loose talk and idle speculation occurs around here. What, between the Protectorate defectors, finally able to speak their minds, and all our off-duty Antes employees carping about work and the war. Any particular topic you have in mind? Tell you one thing you can't avoid, the bridge. No other way around it, and at present, it's held by Protectorate forces. We have a small contingent of troops bivouacked nearby. Forward Operating Base, they call it. Oh, Minister Milverstreet's blessed with the gift of gab. Swear he could sell bypass shunts to a raptidon. Ain't one of them falsely magniloquent types, though. Sincere fella. Shares command of Fairfield with Acquisitions Officer Carr. She's blunt and murderous. Two traits Auntie's Choice highly prizes in a commander of corporate forces. To say they have differing approaches to leadership is like saying, gee, suns are hot, whilst being incinerated in a solar eruption. Tell you one thing you can't avoid, the bridge. No other way around it, and at present, it's held by Protectorate forces. We have a small contingent of troops bivouacked nearby. Forward Operating Base, they call it. Vox Station's run by a brigadier by the name of Montelli. Sounds like he's as much a danger to his own troops as ours. Real piece of work, even by Protectorate standards. Reportedly enamored of show trials and summary executions. My pleasure. Got anything for me in return? Your Earth Directorate. Never figured to meet one of you all, especially in here. It's like some hapless critter, once thought extinct, just trotted on into the place. Here I was hoping you'd have a good story for me in exchange, but oh well. Not everyone's a seasoned raconteur. Pick your poison, and I am mostly not being literal there.
Plenty of nastier variations out there. This whole system needs an exterminator.
Oh, that must be one of my copious direct reports. Rest assured, I'm making adequate progress in my manual labors. Time for another performance review already. Apologies, I'm still applying the required elbow grease to scour these surfaces, just like a novice facility sanitizer should. Many thanks for the validation. I don't suppose you can spread the word of my competency. I desperately seek to avoid yet another demotion. This meritocratic society is still so foreign. The workplace skullduggery, the prioritizing of self over community, the excessively colorful nutrition. I fear I'm not cut out for this canid, eat canid lifestyle. Seems the only way to flourish is through general underhandedness and ruthless efficiency. Never picked up those skills in my 50 years as Fairfield's drone operator. Pity they didn't keep me on there. I was quite skilled at it. Well, you're right. I wanted change. Whole reason I left the Protectorate in the first place. No sense complaining about the means now.
Finally find a way to get ahead.
That guard wasn't being ironical about the giant hologram over town hall. Well, guess we ought to go acquaint ourselves with that minister like she
Store
said.
this stuff? They must be storing something good in there.
Yeah, guns, armor, probably some ammunition too. Honestly, Kemp ain't that much of a mystery.
You're thinking too small, Murph. I'd put money on the Protectorate stashing treasure inside. A whole pool of bits enough to swim in.
It's a constabulary, not a bank. And certainly not some kind of gold-filled swimming hole. Besides, these Protectorate lack imagination. Never had an original thought wasn't written down for them first. Like I told you before, it's probably just guns. I'd guess you're one such person. And a wrong one, as we've learned in dealing with this malicious contraption of a door.
We've tried everything short of skipping a ship through that door to get inside. Though, come to think of it, maybe that's not such a bad idea.
I'd love to see the quartermaster's face after turning her lamps onto that requisition request.
Fine, Skip drives out. Say, maybe we could commandeer one of them tractors out in the field instead. Oh, bet that could plow through the door.
Blowtorch,
Hand crank.
electric saw.
Oh, and there was that attempt with the automech. Wonder if they ever got it walking again. Oh, really? Why didn't you lead with that?
Ordinarily, I'd question how you came about such a unique skill set. But circumstances being what they are, have at it. Just know we're keeping an eye on you.
Leave me be. I have no interest in dealing with the machinations of you dark marketers today. Have you too come to mock me like your fellow dullards? Perhaps if you rub together your only 2 brain cells, you might even come up with something approaching cutting. No. Wait. You're not some corporate simpleton, are you? On the contrary, you have the manner of an officer about you. Someone who understands the substantive weight of command. Please, allow me to start over. I am Warden Sterling, dedicated servant of the Protector of Arcadia and caretaker of worlds, the Sovereign Henry Varick. I'm not that kind of warden. It's a title of distinction for those who serve in the Protectorate military, short for Warden of the Realm. And if I did, so you would. But I am of 2 minds on the matter of providing one. You may hold no allegiance to Auntie's choice, but you are not Protectorate either. I think it best we end our conclave here. Be on your way before you draw attention to either of us.
I got it. What if we... No, wait. We already tried that. Oh, we could... Nope. Never mind. Tried that too.
No, sure. We just thought we'd close it behind us. Didn't want to let in a draft. Wow. A little empty in the attic, aren't we?
Ignore her. She's just out of sorts. I don't think I need to tell you why.
Don't go into that cheap saloon if you got a lick of gumption. They got no tolerance for it. Why do you think I'm out here? Has nothing to do with my current and very temporary shortage of funds.
Too much spacers ale. Try Anti's Choice Pills. Good for ale.
Consume in peace and we won't have a problem.
Welcome, welcome. See anything you like? Well, if it isn't a new face in Fairfield. What I meant to say is that we now have the new improved Purple Berry Crunch. Now with 10% more flavor. Or was it crunch? Oh, no? Wait, is it customary to hand out prizes to newcomers? Apologies for the blunder. Anyway, let's try this again. Welcome to More Perfect Goods, a proud Auntie's Choice franchise. How can I improve your day? Thanks for noticing. All part of the presentation, of course. Think success, present success, be success. It'd be a mite tricky for anyone to swipe something when I'm standing right here. Nothing gets past these peepers. I've been working the store going on a few weeks now. Got promoted shortly after Auntie's Choice liberated Fairfield. Still finding my stride with all the marketing suavities, as you witnessed. Advertising's been a right struggle to get a hold of, much to my chagrin. Well, advertising is an essential part of my business. But I haven't got any new products to advertise. Just the same stock I had yesterday. And the day before that. According to the guide, in situations such as this, I'm to consult my marketing department for new copy. Except I don't have one of those either. Never made an ad of my own before. Not sure I'd even know where to start. But you seem a perspicacious sort. Maybe you can help me draft something that'll prick a customer's interest. Wonderful. Then you'll have no problem. So, what I've got here is mostly weapons and armor. Good quality. Looks mighty nice. Any thoughts on how best to pretty up the mention of them? No guff or nonsense. I like it. Thanks for all your help. Now, is there anything I can do for you? I'm sure you'll find something that'll fit your liking.
Don't even think about disrupting the market.
No. No.
Yet you see fit to keep me in a constant state of consternation. With each unauthorized act, you jeopardize our hold of Fairfield.
Yes, but you must understand, the Protectorate citizenry is a hair's breadth from defection. Within the week, I'm certain.
Certain. Like the week prior and the week before that. Impressive foresight you wield. Should apply to join the Order of the Ascendant.
It would be difficult enough to convert the stubborn populace without your soldiers' constant, ill-advised forays.
Enough! Your yipping reminds me of my 2 old canids. I loved those canids. You, on the other hand, are trying my patience. We don't want to try Auntie's patience, do we?
No, Auntie.
Yes, I thought not. Now, unless you care to see what life in the lower rungs looks like, you will both of you cease your foolish maneuvering immediately. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Auntie.
Good. See that it is done. I will brook no more disappointments. And while you're at it, you might want to look into your security situation, Commander. I'm not accustomed to an audience when addressing my subordinates.
Who in the void? Eavesdropping on Auntie's choice business is like to get a body shot for spying. Though you're not wanting for moxie. I'll give you that.
Now, hold a moment, Carr. When opportunity comes visiting, perhaps it's better not to riddle it full of holes. Our new compatriot may be of assistance.
A surprisingly good point, especially from you. She only forbade us using our own personnel. Be a whole other matter were a stranger to happen to aid one of us. But which? Well, you seem an observant sort, so I expect you'll tire of Milver Street's bluster soon enough. Come see me before agreeing to whatever absurdity he proposes. Unlike him, I have some work actually befitting your time. I'll be waiting.
Alone at last. I never thought she'd leave. Now then, allow me to introduce myself. I am D.B. Milver Street, Minister of Marketing, Duke of Demographics, Commercial Condottiere, President of Promotional Material. Tell me, do you believe in signs? Not quite what I meant, but I like your contempt for boundaries. I could put your adventurous spirit to good use. I do not believe in signs. I believe in opportunities. Right now, at this moment, you and I have an opportunity to save countless lives. But I'm hardly the type to beg and ask for nothing in return. Tell me, what do you desire of this island? Do you mean the Vox Relay? That's a big tower. You do? Well, listen carefully. If you help me with what I want, I can get you into the Vox. Or all the socks you need. Better yet, helping me shall result in our saving dozens, no, hundreds of lives. Your conscience shall be renewed. Auntie may demand Carr and I do nothing, But for each moment I remain inactive, dozens fall in meaningless combat. I seek a persuasive method of alleviating this conflict. The Protectorate utilizes a procedure known as mental refreshment to ease the temperament of wayward subjects. The Ministry of Accuracy contains vital information about the process and where it is performed. This is the prize I seek. I previously sent a grafted soldier, Trooper Ceylon, to retrieve said information, but I have not heard from her in some time. Consequently, I must presume the worst. Yes, one additional word of warning. The good Commander Carr shall not take kindly to your working with me, though that is a bridge most worth burning in my estimate.
Watch out for that Auntie Cleo. I know she don't look it, but she's more dangerous than she seems. Even the whole of Spacer's Choice couldn't outmaneuver her.
You're here early. I expected you'd be on the receiving end of Milver Street's bluster until close to the end of time. Happy that ain't the case, as I can make use of you. I'm Officer Babylon Carr, head of aggressive acquisitions and persons elimination on Paradise Island. Let no one say I can't be official when circumstances merit. Now, not to say I question the presence of a wayward sightseer in the midst of a war-torn waste, but it might be safer for us both if I knew your purpose. The Vox, eh? Bent on bloody self-destruction? I could just have my troops dispatch you, save you the effort. Although if you were keen on continuing to draw breath, perhaps you and I could broker a deal. There are Protectorate vitals need bled. You could do the bleeding. I want the Protectorate war effort exsanguinated. You want into the Vox Relay. You help me, I help you. There's a particular holding we shelled early in the war, name of Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center. Deserves a raising for the length of its blasted name alone. My scouts report recent Protectorate attempts to bring it back to functioning. I need the place sabotaged, lest automechs return to aid the Protectorate war effort in droves. Should note, the ministers like to take our working together as a personal affront. Aid me, and I suspect he'll rescind any offer he may have made to you. Do you suggest that our good minister has lost patience with playing fair and now seeks to delve into the oily recesses of brainwashing? Oh, for shame. He's devoted to his half measures. I'll give him that. But he wouldn't have to wheedle and connive if he knew directness. Milver Street's grinning manipulation won't earn nothing but more of our own dead. Work with me. Could be direct. Feign that you're an assistant of some kind, though you'd have to have some know-how regarding engineering. But a simpler path would be paying a visit to the Ministry of Accuracy, liberating some credentials. Yaysayers ain't capable of suspecting a piece of paper. Certainly could. I wouldn't shed a tear on behalf of those drones, but the Protectorate is used to losing its people. And there'd no doubt be a replacement crew in a week's time. The repair center itself needs to be permanently put out of commission. Anything else is temporary. Competence recognizes competence. Get into that facility and make certain it won't ever function again. I look forward to hearing your results.
Commander, there is a 98.7% chance that hunting Agent DeVries will require greater amounts of ammunition than you currently possess. Ammunition can be purchased at vending machines or crafted at a workbench using materials like this collection of scrap metal and powder.
I can also help you craft items in a pinch when we're out together. Most won't even explode on you. That must be the greenhouse. You know, one where that Emily is supposed to be moving stolen goods.
Do they ever cease? Nope. You probably hear them in your dreams, if you haven't already.
I'm simply not credulous enough to... I'd welcome you, would-be consumer, but we are not a retail operation. Please visit the various consumer locations around Fairfield for all your purchasing needs. I have far too many claims on my time to be able to cater to the curious at the moment. I was meant to have help, but they lacked the barest amount of gray matter it takes to keep from getting locked up by excessive corporate malfeasance. So, I'm on my own here, breaking my back, trying to buttress all these vines on top of all my other jobs. Oh, the bits I wouldn't pay for some of those mechs the Protectorate used to work this place. So, is there anything else, or can I get back to work? Really? Feel you're entitled to that information, do you? Because all these plants were unknown inside Auntie's Choice. And there's a good chance we can make something of them. Though I expect word any day that the big brains in R&D will have tweaked and twisted these plants so they're better than nature. Then we push the new product on the market. And my contract says I get 0.003427% of net after development, testing, packaging, advertising, and distribution costs. So you know, this is a pretty big deal for me. Quite the setup, ain't it? Before we took Fairfield, Auntie's Choice didn't have anything like this. Every kind of plant we've got was made to thrive in a chemical vat. But the Protectorate grows all their greens the old-fashioned way, with water and soil and actual fertilizer. I can't decide if it's adorably quaint or just plain daft. Then again, they all only have one job, so they have the time to indulge in all those sorts of archaic whimsies. Damn lucky Crabble copulators. Research mostly, some wholesale, and as the base for some small batch, highly exclusive, limited edition retail runs. Though I expect word any day that the big brains in R&D will have tweaked and twisted these plants so they're better than nature. Then we push the new product on the market. And my contract says I get 0.003427% of net after development, testing, packaging, advertising, and distribution costs. So you know, this is a pretty big deal for me. Well, I've got a lot left to do and not much time left to do it in, so you can show yourself out.
rumors flying around about the rifts. The lab codes can't figure this out. They're becoming unstable. What if they swallow us up? Outsider.
Ectoplasm. Wait. Nope. Just Taro extra. Heavens, Auntie, you scared the living daylights out of me. Shouldn't sneak up on a man like that. Good way to earn a bullet betwixt the eyes. You know, you might be right. I'm reliably certain I did not want to find out. Guess I should apologize for all that hullabaloo before. Just mistook you for another unfleshly manifestation. Look, I know how it sounds, like I'm a few crabbles short of a hurt, but just hear me out. It all started the other night. Saw a personage leaving the greenhouse, late. Figured it for Emily, but when I asked her about it, she didn't know what I was talking about. Happened again the next night. Gave chase that time, but lost him hereabouts. I turned a corner and they'd up and vanished. I've knocked on doors, peeped a few windows, respectfully, mind you. And I ain't spied anything more exciting than a chair. But then, a being of pure information probably wouldn't linger on this plane any longer than necessary. Too tiresome, would be my guess. Strangest part is that foodstuffs have also been disappearing from the greenhouse since we took Fairfield. You think it's all connected? I've knocked on doors, peeped a few windows, respectfully, mind you. And I ain't spied anything more exciting than a chair. But then, a being of pure information probably wouldn't linger on this plane any longer than necessary. Too tiresome, would be my guess. Well, maybe. I still don't know all the particulars, yet. But it's one theory. I certainly won't say no to having a fresh set of lamps on the scene. Just be careful. Hate to see you disappeared like that foodstuffs.
DeVries sure has some cheek putting the Earth Directorate symbol on her wall after everything.
My cover story has worked. I am safely ensconced at the Vox station, assigned to the lowly Information Input and Retrieval Department. It seems a colony so certain of its absolute control over its subjects can be less than rigorous when it comes to security. I was able to easily widen out a space behind the walls of the main control room to establish my safe room, giving me unfettered access to the communication transfer conduits. I have hacked into their system downstream from the security protocols, so I am able to infiltrate their entire system with them being none the wiser. While I have little doubt as to the success of our mission, trepidation still gnaws at me, though I cannot say why. Perhaps it is simply the normal mission commencement jitters. I thought my duties complete. Information gathered, reports filed, preparations made. I'd even created a fictitious identity and work transfer to Horizon Point Station well ahead of schedule, in order to keep anyone from tracking my movements upon commencing the mission. All that was left was the waiting. Or so I thought. Then, troubling information came to light. I've seen the numbers. I've seen the equations. While I don't understand all of it, I understand enough to know it is the truth. And I am the only one in a position to act upon it. Though it means the betrayal of my team and the duty I swore to uphold. But can I? I did it. They are all dead. And I am still alive. I had not expected this. I had prepared no alibi, and so felt assured my ruse would be discovered and I'd not have to carry this burden. But the complete gullibility of the Protectorate subjects cannot be underestimated, it seems. My threadbare excuse of my grievous wounds as pitchball injuries was accepted without question. I can only keep telling myself it had to be done. Something which becomes harder by the day as the rift anomaly grows in the sky. But it was all part of the plan. Wasn't it?
I can't believe this. Void me if I understand any of this. DeVries sold us out for what? Because of a few equations? Some dots and lines on a graph? Good fucking law. I mean, she wasn't a damn scientist. She said it herself. She didn't understand all of it, the math. So what was she thinking? Oh, yeah? And how many of those colleagues went and blew up a space station on account of it? Damn it! I never wanted to talk about this. I wanted to just leave it alone. Told myself, no point in dredging up the past. Should have known he wouldn't rest. DeVries may have saved me on Triangulum, but I wasn't the only one looked up to her. Lots of the other recruits talked about her too, back at the academy. We all thought she was the pinnacle of what an agent should be. Tough, smart, any job she couldn't get done. And better and faster than everyone else. Inspired all of us. Reckon so. Some might embarrassing how much worship we all put on her name. You put a tool in my hand, I would have built monuments to her. Figured my own career could be just that. Doing for others what she done for me. Never imagined I'd actually get to work with her. Me, some nobody from Triangulum. And then she betrayed us. Tried telling myself it was an accident, but now we've got the cold, hard proof it wasn't. Law only knows why she trusted the Order's numbers. Ain't cynical if it turns out true. DeVries was willing to sacrifice us. I have to know what for. I mean, she always struck me as so pragmatic. Real sensible-like. Never figured she'd go all in on predictions from a bunch of monks. Done some good, too. Even I can admit that not everyone following the plan is a fanatic. But when those beliefs start to require hurting others, even killing them, that's worth questioning their virtue. No, didn't even know DeVries was alive until she brought the satellite down. Until then, what kept me going was mostly training and stubbornness. And Val. But to your point, holding someone who's wronged you accountable for their actions ain't an act of vengeance. Some might call it justice. Right after we get answers. Whatever her plans, she started putting them in place while stationed undercover at the Vox Relay. Our next point of order ought to be getting in there. Reckon there's got to be someone on the island who can help us with that. Let's keep asking around. Friendly like.
You're back. Why? You read my terminal? How embarrassing. The compliance adjusters broke the door lock when they arrested my predecessor, and I haven't gotten around to fixing it yet. Not that I thought anyone had come snooping. I'd made careful arrangements to tie up everyone's loose ends. Everyone except you, it seems. So, why are you so interested in my other work? You're not part of compliance. Because Auntie's choice expects you to forge a path that's ambitious and self-deterministic, but not so much so that it disrupts other folks' ambition and self-determinism. Blah. I can't even fathom Auntie's economy if every eager go-getter operating on the gray edge of strictly legal suddenly closed up shop. Our whole society would fall to ruins. You know, I've been looking for some backfills with the kind of cleverness usually only found on the seedy lower decks of the claim. Feel like making a few bits? I'm part of Sub Rosa. We're a group of merchants, information brokers, and commodity traders who deal outside the systems most folk are confined by. We're the best way to get things done in anti-space if you're looking for profit. Want to buy it, sell it, move it? We've got someone to do it for you. Puh, they were rubes, nitwits. Dolts so lacking in faculties that they couldn't handle the minuscule, and by that I mean damn tiny, amount of discretion this job requires. They had to be dealt with so we could all get back to work. And now that I'm here, things will be running right smoothly. So, long as your brain pan's filled with more than a half-dead sprat spinning on a rusty wheel, I absolutely guarantee this is a no-risk venture. Oh, isn't that just wonderful? I had no suspicion when you walked through my door that you'd help resolve the last of the morass Paradise Island has become for us. And all we need you to do is access Quartermaster Cardos's terminal and scrub any Spectrum vodka from her ledgers. It's already been resold, so having it in her system could become problematic. Expunge it, and I get you some bits, and the friendship of Sub Rosa all over the system. You get me? It'll probably be nothing. She's just a sergeant, not someone who has any real pull. And I've already made arrangements with everyone who matters. So, if she catches you, about the worst she can do is a switch on the wrist. And I'll be waiting here with your bits.
Why do you corporate folks do all the hard work instead of letting common folks? Because we get paid to do
Saw you coming this time.
I suppose it was only a matter of time until we were discovered. Though what an odd thing to die for. Apples. Is that not why you've come? Because you discovered our recent larceny at the greenhouse? The greenhouse's stolen bounty offered a healthy alternative to gorging ourselves on that vending machine poison. Alas, I was spotted on 1 or 2 forays. I am merely quivering with rage over this insulting interrogation. And that scent you so subtly pointed out is the aroma of noble effort. Foreign to you, I'm sure.
Thought I saw you disappear in here. Oh. Seems I've stumbled into quite the shindig. You lot been hiding out in here all this time? Touch cramped, ain't it?
The more I listen to you invaders blathering, the more convinced I become of the need to rid our fair island of your wretched stupidity by any means necessary.
Not very copacetic, are you folks?
If this exchange is not to your liking, I can accommodate you with a bullet instead. Spare me your insults. They mean less than nothing coming from the mouth of a corporate pet. I would sever my own hands at the wrist rather than sign a corporate contract. A generous offer. But we prefer to die in the service of the Sovereign. This was always going to end in blood.
Guess I had this mystery all wrong. A small part of me was hoping... Nah, never mind. It's downright foolish. I lost a friend in the invasion. A good friend. Thought maybe all this was her trying to send me a message of some kind. Like I said, foolish. I appreciate that. Never really talked about the direction of my thoughts on this topic with no one before. Wow, it's like I'm lighter. Thank you for everything. Truly.
pulverizing them suffice? No, I couldn't liquefy them. Apply heat and congeal them into kibble no beast could resist. Oh, Ethel, darling, you're a genius. Approach with less haste next time, won't you? Copernicus may be tame, but he still doesn't take kindly to being startled. I am Ethel Tinsley, chimeric scientist. I'm responsible for taming this delightful raptidon here. He will protect our fair town from his feral brethren in the wilds. Theoretically. Officer Carr has been in a state waiting for me to train the raptidons to, maul on command. It's rather pressing, and alas, one scientist-turned-tamer can only do so much. One might say I'm perhaps a bit on edge. Folk here have grown weary, shall we say, with the war effort, and with avoiding Carr and the minister's would-be fisticuffs. If you too have spotted the chasm between them, I fear the Protectorate have already pinpointed the way with which to exploit it. I'm unused to the way things are done here, I suppose. The Protectorate leadership never behaved in such a manner. The fact is that those two never got along particularly well, even under the best of circumstances. One wishes to woo Protectorate subjects to our ranks. The other wishes to secure a decisive victory with weaponry and technology. As for which approach is best, I wish I knew. Then her hands will be tied no longer. I suppose I can find relief in that. Some may think it too cruel to use Officer Carr's methods to strike the enemy while they are down. But I have come to believe there may only be one way to truly defeat an enemy such as the Protectorate. She believes this as well. Very well. I ought to focus more on my work than on social tensions anyhow. I work directly with Officer Carr and her soldiers to ensure they're outfitted with the best Raptidon counterparts Paradise Island can provide. In theory, they'll be trusted to guard our most precious assets, including our leadership. For now, they deter encroachment from wild Raptidons. It's most agreeable. Trust me, they are safer here than out in the wilds. I have been reprimanded thrice now for undue pampering. I would not be here if this experiment was still causing needless suffering.
Let me guess. Gun keeps jamming, armor don't quite fit snug as you like. State your division and I'll get you outfitted, quick and proper, or your next provision's free. We ought to find you a new war bonnet first off. Just a little something to prevent more damage to your slivered upper story. I'm sure I have something here. As Chief Replenishment Officer, it's my privileged duty to furnish our brave troops with all of their wartime essentials. You could say I put the ration in liberation. Tell me what you need, and I'll do my ample best to supply you. No one here but you, me, and several tons of well-oiled machinery. What's this about? Now there's an odd request. If you've got queries about my stock, I'm sure I can answer them for you. Wait one rat-gone moment. Did Miss Galloway put you up to this? She asked me for terminal access not even a fortnight ago. I'd call it coincidence if it didn't feel so much like conspiracy. I can't for the life of me adduce a reason as to why a greenhouse manager would be interested in military inventory. What kind of plants are we growing in there? I forget to take off my gullible sign today or something. Not sure what makes you think I have a trusting nature to appeal to, but my answer's still no.
Maybe focus on self-bettering yourself.
The target's not on the ground, recruits.
Trainee Lindell, be so kind as to remind us all what the first rule of the range is.
Guns are weapons, not toys.
And do we aim weapons at colleagues or at our own unprotected upper stories, even in jest? Hint, we do not. Some mistakes cost more than others. Not much to be gleaned from taking a bullet in the brain pan. The soldiers before you are former protectorate subjects, mainly of the farming variety. No knowledge of combat. Scarce experience wielding anything deadlier than a wrench. They are accustomed to being told what to do, when to do it, and even how to think. A lifetime of habitual servitude is not broken in a day. I'm only responsible for familiarizing them with the weapons they will come to rely on in future. However, having observed them on the range, they fail every hurdle, but keep getting back up. I'd say that speaks to an admirable resilience. Or stupidity. Difficult to say which. I'm not one to idle in the path of a good faith effort to accelerate education. The faster we can get more soldiers in the field, the better. There's just one problem. I don't know you. So, respectfully, I must ask, what do you feel qualifies you to give instruction to my recruits? I've never heard of such an area of study. Indeed. Well, your attitude of arrogant superiority is unlikely to resonate with the recruits, I think. Respectfully, I must decline your offer. Please excuse me. Lindell! You reload with a muzzle facing away from you. Away!
Knew you'd be back. What do you need this time? As a friendly reminder, all sales are final, especially ammunition. Business is always good when a war's on. What do you need this time? Good eye. Oh, I'd say they're better than nice. Got more armor than a hammer claw, but better flight handling than the old clunkers we used to stock. If things had turned out differently, it might be someone else standing here, while I'd be off piloting one of those beauties. You got your wires crossed. Dropship piloting's one of the safest jobs in Auntie's Choice, according to Auntie's survey on career safety. Ranks high in satisfaction, too. And anyway, I don't recall asking for your opinion, so maybe we best get back to it.
No offense to Val, but it's real nice having someone watching my back who ain't in constant need of recalibration. Anyway, need something, Commander?
Awaiting orders. How may this unit assist you, Commander?
The funny business.
Yeah, you'd be back. What do you need this time?
Pleasure not doing business with you.
Caught in the act, like an amateur.
Auntie's Choice don't look kindly upon thievery. Don't move! Property. My records show you have an outstanding fine for past offenses. Pay up or face Auntie's justice. Everything seems to be in order. Carry on.
That ain't yours. Hello again. You get that inventory issue sorted? How grand. That officially mops up the last of the mess from the buffoons that came before me. And, as promised, my good fortune is also your good fortune. And while this might be a tad fewer bits than you were hoping for, remember, you've also made allies that you'll find all across Arcadia. Just keep watching for paintings of a stylish yellow rose with a split black circle near the middle. Like the one you passed on your way in. Find that rose, and you find Sub Rosa.
When might I begin laboring for Auntie? I so eagerly want to contribute to the corporate plan.
People think I got ejected from the saloon because I'm 3 sheets to the wind.
Whoa! How in the blazes did you get in there?
Appreciate your help. These weapons are gonna save lives. On our side, anyway.
A lot of fresh blood in the talent pool around here with these protectorate defectors. Not sure how I feel about that.
Best keep your lamps lit for wildlife.
Hostile wildlife. Familial classification of adapted.
I swear that wasn't Let me know when you need a distraction.
I know I've been pushing to find DeVries, so this might seem a bit of a left turn. Avoid it. I'm just gonna ask. Got an old friend here on the island. The doctor who patched me up after Horizon Point. Ex-protectorate, a good man. Tracked on the Westport a short time ago, but never got up the nerve to visit. Reckon we could drop by and pay him a visit? Brief one, of course. Not sure he'd still consider me such, but that's part and parcel of the reason I want to see him. I had some bad years on my own. Now with you here being part of a team, this might sound a mite soppy, but I feel like I could be a proper agent again. That starts with writing accounts. This friend of mine, Zebulon Tran, I let him down. And I've been chewing on that live wire for a while. Too long, maybe. Much as I might love to jaw about that special interest of mine, this business with Zeb's gotta come first. After I recovered from Horizon Point, Zeb and I ran together for a spell, doing what we could to help folks in difficult spots. Fighting protectorate tyranny in small ways. Too small for Zeb, as it turned out. He was unhappy before I showed up, and after, well, all my directorate talk fired him up even more. I had my orders. I was to stay low. Couldn't let the Protectorate catch wind of an Earth Directorate agent in its midst. But Zeb, he kept pushing to take more extreme action. Wasn't like I didn't want to take things farther, hit the Protectorate where it hurt. But I still had my cover to think of too. I couldn't risk disrupting the mission. I'd feel better about that commendation if things hadn't turned out as they did. We worked hard, but the Protectorate's arbiters and sentinels worked harder. Often than not, our help only made targets of the folks whose lives we were trying to improve. Didn't matter what we did. Arcadia was still caught under the Protectorate's boot. Guess some of what you said way back when stuck. All that talk about putting people first. Figured that's what I was doing. Putting a stop to all the pain I was causing. Anyway, things weren't good. Zeb and I couldn't find the rhythm we had before. We were arguing every day. Eventually, cutting ties just seemed for the best. Clean like. Only later I learned Zeb hadn't given up the struggle like I assumed he would. He got to stay in mental refreshment for his trouble. That's the last I heard of him, till recent. Much appreciated, Commander. Promise, I won't be making a habit of pulling skeletons out of my closet. Westport's on the east side of the island. I tracked Zeb to somewhere on its outskirts, but never got up the nerve to visit before now. We ought to start there.
closed. Did you not hear me? This place is closed. No learning today about how everything happens according to the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan. Why are you asking? Who are you?
The people she tried to kill.
I, the architect. I had no idea. I wish I could say it was unbelievable. I was afraid she was becoming a danger to herself and to others. But this is horrifying.
Yeah, imagine how we feel. Why don't you tell us where she is so we can make sure she ain't being a danger to herself or others?
And how are you going to do that?
That ain't something you ought to be concerning yourself about.
If you think I'm going to help you do what I think you're talking about, you are deluded.
I may be deluded, but you're lucky you ain't dead. Seeing how she seems partial to using her friends as victims.
Does she? It occurs to me that you have provided no proof of what you're accusing her of.
Why don't you take a long look at me? This is all because she betrayed us. Her team, her friends, even the one whose life she saved in Triangulum.
By the architect. You're Niles, aren't you? She mentioned you a few times, but refused to elaborate. All I knew was that she was fond of you, and that you were dead.
She was fond of me? Then why? Why would she try to kill me?
I can't say, but it may be one of the things she anguished over. An anguish I fear finally overwhelmed her, and could likely be what's driven her to her present course of action. I wish I knew. It's nothing good, I can tell you that. I haven't seen her since before the corporatists invaded the island. I'm afraid she's going to do something terrible, but I just don't know what. Maybe none of this would have happened had I not introduced her to Victor. How did... You saw her terminal, didn't you? Victor's an Order archivist. We were all friends for a time. But then, shortly before the schism, they started talking to some others inside the Order. That's when things became tense. I started to become uneasy, scared, really. She kept getting angrier with the Order the more she worked with Victor and her other contacts. On top of everything else, it became just too much for me. Among other things. For some reason, she was obsessed with the cliffhanger ending of Chapter 6. It was the one where capitalist fanatics brought complete destruction upon Arcadia. But you know how it works. It was somehow miraculously saved at the beginning of the next chapter. It didn't matter to DeVries, though. She just kept going over it and over it. Would have talked to a Crabble about it if there was no one else to listen. That, and the invasion itself, set her mind to dark things. I begged her not to go down that road again. She was so agitated when I first met her. Must have been 7, going on 8 years ago now. She never slept, didn't talk to anyone if she could avoid it. After we became friends, she began to change. Still bothered her from time to time, but I thought it mostly behind her. I couldn't watch her go back to how she'd been. Or worse. No. But it had to be someone's fault, right? The Protectorate couldn't possibly have failed to safeguard the colony. Then they had to answer the accusations the Order leveled at them. Just a religion driven by algorithms, maths, predictions of the future. They believe they will eventually solve the universal equation and know everything, rid humanity of uncertainty. We became friends when she... Well, she saved me. I'd said something without thinking. Must have been distracted. We all know to watch every last word we say.
For some reason, she interceded on my behalf with an arbiter, and she convinced him he didn't hear what he actually did. No one does that. Void, I didn't think anyone could. We all were, originally, before the schism. But she never gave it up, even when it became illegal to even mention their name. Which was surprising with how angry she seemed to be getting with them, even as she was deep into scheming with Victor and the others. She even continued to sign her messages, "See you in the equation." It's all so confusing. What do you mean? It was where she worked, one of the Protectorate's communications hubs. She didn't speak of it much, at least to me. She may have spoken to Victor about it.
She ain't the only one.
It's difficult to explain. She spoke about things in unfamiliar ways. I felt her words to be freeing, at first. But slowly, I began to feel unmoored, doubting everything I ever knew. She said learning the truth of things was worth it. But now I question whether her truth was just more of her penchant to sow chaos, no matter who may be caught in her schemes. Some days I wish I'd never listened to her at all. Others, I can't help but miss her. Even with everything.
Know a little something about that, too.
I did try to. Once. After the corporatists invaded Paradise Island and took over Fairfield. They seemed to let anyone in there. Some boisterous fellow even tried to recruit me. No. Nearest I could surmise, she'd left just prior to the fall of Fairfield. I'm ashamed to admit, I did break into her safe. She used the same code for everything. 15-778.
That is Agent DeVries' identification code, Commander.
She said it had some meaning from her previous life. I'd hoped she'd left something for me, but the safe was empty. I know I've no right to ask this of you, but when you find her, please remind her of who she used to be. She's unwell, but I know there's still hope for her. That's all I can ask.
Agent Ibarra, you failed to take your daily supplements 3 days in a row. Vitamins are a vital tool in aiding wound healing and achieving your long-term health goals.
We've talked about this, Val. Ain't polite airing folks' private health information in front of others.
If oral capsules are not your preferred delivery method, suppositories may be a viable option.
Always been curious about the kind of training that produce an arbiter. Can't imagine. Ain't just the Dragoon to worry about.
Commencing combat-related activities.
This stretch runs between Fairfield and the Eastern Forward Operating Base. North of here is an old abandoned chapel. Dang.
Careful of friendly fire if you head down.
If you're wondering why there's so many engineers sitting here on their rears, it's because the dang
I don't even
Crabbles
want
ran
to
us
think
out of
about the
these
damage
elevators.
those Crabbles are
Now
going
we're
to do to my
stuck here
machines.
on standby.
Crabbles. They ain't gonna do nothing to your precious terminal. Only thing they're a danger to with us.
Yeah, you may have the right of it. I just ain't certain.
Word is Milver Street is ordering a watch on the protectorate survivors in Westport. Once any change is reported. I hate that kind of work. It always sounds like so much effort. That kind of thing ain't even on my contract. Milver Street is offering bits rewards for anything of import we can tell him. But I do love bits. Come on, friend. Let's go set our lamps on something juicy from Milver Street.
Scout report.
Yes, sir. Looks like the repair center is still out of order, sir.
Excellent. At ease, Scout. Glad to hear that they haven't managed to repair it. The Navy Command has temporarily put the actual fighting.
Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
We could use the assistance, that's for sure. The gas leak has made our automechs a touch unreliable.
Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for xeranium gas. We sprung a leak. Nothing too bad, aside from the headaches, nightmares, missing teeth, and headaches. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
Did the authorities send you? Did my torrent of messages finally convince them of the vast crab-like dangers near at hand? What a relief. In here I thought myself dismissed as a loon. Well, I speak of the Crabbles, of course. You must have spied those nefarious Crabbles, roiling, rippling, bubbling, and churning out in the water. No one at the facility believes me, but I've seen it with my own eyes. Crabble numbers have swelled as they gather to defy us. A consortium, nay, an army. Huh, shows what you know. Crabbles are the bane of Arcadia. Strong, intelligent, and superior to us in every way. You actually believe me? No, stranger. Thank you. With your confidence and support, I believe the Crabble threat can and will be defeated. Remain strong, and together we will outlast the Crabble!
All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
Greetings, potential customer. State your business. This unit was engineered to facilitate management of supply inventory at this installation.
Oh, this is surely exciting. Someone is finally trying out my automechanical quartermaster. Show them what you got, quartermech.
Command not understood.
Huh. I thought that would have put it into sales mode. Best look into that later. Please, give it a try yourself.
All wares should be perfectly visible already.
Sorry, it tends to take things too literally. Maybe try phrasing the request differently.
Lull detected. Conversational status uncomfortable.
Does that one compute, big guy?
Affirmative. Initiating commerce is one of this unit's default commands. Initiating commerce.
Oh, unfamiliar clientele. I was just lamenting the lack of new faces around here since supplies stopped arriving. And then you walk in. Name's Hazel. I'm sort of the acting quartermaster around these parts. You need any supplies? Talk to my friend the quartermech here. Quartermaster automechanical or automechanical quartermaster are a mouthful no matter how you spin it. And I despise inefficiency. Excuse the mess, by the way. Auntie gave us a pummeling a few weeks back. The old wardens paid the price. Where their courage faltered, a little mental refreshment should do just the trick. See you soon, I hope.
I'm certain my reformed order allies will overlook your lapse in judgment if you turn over Red Cloak. Isn't that right? Yes. In fact, we are willing to add an additional 3%. Red Cloak's inspiring resistance to
Might be wise to give that large gas cloud a wide berth. I think there's anything to gain by getting near it.
What brings you to this fine establishment?
Caught a piece of shrapnel during the attack. What, outsider?
Stay true, outsider.
Yes. Let's have a look at you. No signs of Zeranium exposure, or anything else novel or interesting, apparently. Another humdrum workaday ailment, no doubt. Nothing requiring my vast expertise, surely. Oh, gladly. I've rather dedicated my life to researching its unique form of matter. What would you like to know? Zeranium in its default crystalline state poses two risks. First, it's extremely volatile, exploding with an immense burst of energy if upset in any way. Second, Zeranium crystals produce a small amount of gas, which we think helps stabilize its crystalline lattice, but that's just a theory. In this gaseous state, Zeranium is quite hazardous, breaking down organic matter through a mechanism we still don't quite understand. I'm not sure how that's related, but I can confirm that the poison our foes peddle as sustenance can often have deleterious effects. The concentration of the gas is a critical factor. A person could remain in a light haze for several minutes, whereas a dense cloud can kill near instantly. Anyhow, I could talk about this all day if I let myself. Hope I haven't bored you unduly. Was there anything else I could help you with?
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have. Defend it.
First the attack, then there's a rain. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
Not sure we should get any closer.
Well, look who it is. What is it this time? Don't have much to spare, but you're free to have a look.
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Uranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displayed standard overload-induced paralysis, then became atypically aggressive. Forced to terminate test model in self-defense.
Oh yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now what is it you want? Quite busy, as I said, and less pleased for this unscheduled work suspension. Now, did you have some business here? Oh, we'll get to that presently. Now tell me, are you familiar with ziranium gas? Ah, quite. I could speak at length about ziranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from ziranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. Quite splendidly, if I do say so myself. The principal function of the device is confirmed operational. I merely need to work out some minor implementation concerns. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Good, good, wonderful. As an added incentive, I'll allow you to keep one of the prototypes once the work is finished, so you be sure to give it your all. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray ziranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a ziranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense ziranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here in any way, I'll want to work with local samples. Ideally, the resulting shielding will protect against any gas, but since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas here, I'll be calibrating against that. Well, of course, obviously. To that end, I'd suggest choosing a cloud of lesser density for your collection efforts. Lower chance of near-instant death that way. If you suffer prolonged exposure, assuming you survive, see our local medical officer next door. She is highly preoccupied by the treatment of ziranium-related maladies. I believe that covers all the necessary education for this particular assignment. Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing your work. Now, shoo-shoo! Off with you now! Gather those samples! Shoo!
Not sure we should get any closer.
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate Zeranium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. Capital deduction! Where have you been all my career? You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. You guessed correctly. Our chief mechanist was rather hostile to the idea. So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's choice attack us, we don't want to be caught defenseless. No doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled with Zeranium poisoning. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for decades. I had a model of one when I was young. All children did. You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. That is the Dragoon. Good. A flexible mindset should behoove you on this task. Perhaps the chief mechanist will prove more receptive to your request. Failing that, be prepared to exercise creativity if needed. One last thing. The Dragoon must not be harmed. Not only would the amplifier likely be damaged, but we'd both be summarily executed, assuming we survive the firefight that ensued. Well, off you go. Shoo.
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of Zeranium exposure. We're a mite bit busy these days. She and I have been over this 100 times. Please understand. The original staff of this facility were rounded up and refreshed because they couldn't safeguard a protectorate asset. Why should I follow their example by reducing our sole working Dragoon to a pile of unpatriotic scrap? I can't. I won't. Be gone already. I wish I could help, but you'll just have to find another way.
Consider finding a human companion if you seek conversational.
Stay true, outsider.
Outsider?
First the attack, then there's Iranian. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
Welcome. Glad to have you back. All right, I admit it. The quartermech still needs work, but perfection requires iteration, as the Marshal says. While he's under construction, come to me for any supplies you might need. Glad to oblige.
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? I suppose you could try talking to some of the other personnel around here. One of them might have a lead. Ingratiating myself with others is not a particular strength of mine, but perhaps you'll have better results. Paradigm willing. Until a more convenient date and time.
Apologies, I must concentrate on my work. Maybe one of the others can help you.
Well, look who it is. What is it this time?
Stay true, outsider.
Outsider?
Stay true, outsider.
Greetings, potential customer. State your business. Not in stock. Please try again.
Apologies. Chief Mechanist Woodrow might have one, though you'll need to twist his arm to get it.
May this unit be of further assistance?
Need something? Or just here to talk?
Outsider?
Outsider? Outsider?
First the attack, then there's uranium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
You again. Howdy. Getting better, I think. The Crabbles have seemed less menacing of late. Maybe our resolve has worn down their warlike spirit. Or maybe they're just biding their time.
I'm glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Between the recent attacks and the gas leak, you find us on the razor's edge between reason and panic. Anyway, if you have hands and a will to lend them, I won't turn away help. This gas leak of ours has proven inexhaustible, patient, and insidious. Uranium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me to find a solution, lest I follow my predecessors to their untimely fate. Speak with Delphinia Bryant. She needs all the support she can get, and I'll spare no resources on this particular problem. Her invention, once operational, will provide you a shield from the worst of the uranium. Her workshop is just past our clinic. Once you have the shield, see me about the leak. I'll give you all the details. I heard that one of our Dragoon automechs, the second of the defensive patrol, wandered off along the coast. I couldn't spare any of my people for its retrieval. Besides, it was addled with uranium and useless to the likes of us. Keen of you to point out my contradictions, but your criticism is unwarranted and more than a tad unwelcome. The automechanicals dispatched to the Vox are a necessity. By comparison, the ones protecting this facility are a luxury. Let there be no doubt. Were every automechanical destroyed, I would take their place to fend off our enemies. What else would disrupt the harmony of our perfect system? Auntie's choice, of course. A chance shot hit the wrong pipe early into their assault. Uranium wreaks havoc on automechanicals. Every combat-ready mech in the repair hangar was overcharged and beset with behavioral problems. Further damage soon occurred. True, the facility was disrupted, but it was not undone. The Protectorate saw to that. When disorder looms its ugly head, the Protectorate relies on its people to maintain and restore that order. The situation is deteriorating rapidly, and I need that gas leak fixed. Otherwise, my automechs might as well be paperweights. While I trust that Brigadier Montelli has everything well in hand, that assurance does not alleviate the grim tidings felt in the pit of my bowels. Loyalty and instinct run hand in hand. I'm a Protectorate man, after all. So why should I be ill at ease, despite our stalwart chain of command and dependable kin at the helm? No matter. My unease is nothing when measured against the strength of the Protectorate. This facility's purpose is the maintenance of automechanicals. When the war kicked off, it became a military asset, and I am its second steward. The old staff should have laid down their lives to repel Auntie's choice. For their failure of loyalty and grit, they were punished, and rightly so. Now, their burden is mine, but I won't allow my unit to suffer the same fate.
in. I'll take care of him, Commander.
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on, just a moment to remove what I need and install it in the prototype. With this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than Zeranium, you know. Damn near everything, as long as it's charged. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. Don't thank me. Just doing my part for the sake of the paradigm, same as anyone.
What can I do for you this time? I knew Dr. Bryant would come through for us, that she'd prove her worth as surely as any subject of the Protectorate would. Seeing as you're the only one trained in the use of that gadget, what say you put it through its paces? Make your way inside the repair hangar and find the control terminal to purge the Zeranium. And be careful with that terminal. We don't want the situation getting any worse. Why in law's name would you want to know that? Now that is Protectorate diligence at its finest. I suppose if some computational greenhorn left even one of the intake conduits open and shut down the Zeranium flow, that'd be a disaster. Good thing we don't make rookie mistakes in my unit. Any further questions? Don't worry about Woodrow. Smart fellow, but his cautious nature gets in the way. Yes, there is some risk that exposure to Zeranium will corrupt our automechs, to use his colorful language. That shouldn't stop us from delivering them on time. I'm sure they'll be scrubbed clean once they arrive at the Vox relay. But that isn't our problem to solve. You be sure and come back once you've made progress on the leak.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just stay with.
Done. This uranium now spews from the hangar more thickly than ever. The damage must have been more advanced than we thought. I knew I should have pushed the repairs earlier. Sure, a few may have died, but the mission might still have been salvaged. This is my fault. The blame lies squarely on my shoulders. I gambled on an outsider rather than trusting my own resources, and now the price is paid. With this failure, I have likely doomed this entire island to the tender mercies of our enemies. No more will our stalwart subjects reap the bounty of this land. No more would the pleasant whine of servos accompany our mechanical servants in their noble servitude. Instead, this island will be trampled by the boots of our enemies. Its resources stripped bare, leaving nothing of the beauty we've cultivated over long years. As our stewardship is cast aside like so much detritus, harmony will be lost, and chaos will reign. Praise will give way to slogans, duty to greed, honor to contractual obligation. Freaks and worse will despoil that which is left behind, while bureaucrats will use this once proud land as a springboard for their superficial and petty ambitions. And with the island's fall, I may have dealt a crippling blow to the Protectorate itself. Our foes will use this place as a stepping stone, eating their way deeper into Eden like ravenous maggots. And it will all be my fault. I'll be remembered, if any of us is, as the one who lost it all. Yes, I suppose I have. Now please, leave me be.
Give Auntie 2 bits, and she'll give you some new glitz. Give Auntie 5... and she'll give you a facial spritz.
Can't believe some of those Protectorate hull heads just couldn't see the benefit of self-betterment.
Let them simmer in their cells for a spell. Less able bodies muscling in on outcomes.
Signed, officially on the payroll for another 78 days, including today. But I'm counting.
You can't spell heinous